We worked very hard to be here since the off season. We push each other each and every day in practice, and we just knew we was gonna get here, but it was how we were gonna get here.
I mean, it's a dream come true. It's the reason I came back this year. I just know it's something special with this group, and it makes it all worth it.
I'm happy that we are representing the SEC, though, in the championship game on Monday night, and we're going to do everything we can to bring home a title.
And everybody at the end of the day just want to win. So whenever we get in this locker room, whenever we come together, that just be the goal.
It's very special. I mean, this is what you dream of. This is what you come to Florida for, to help it get it back to this point. So it's definitely a blessing to be a part of it.
From Wesh 2 Sports, this is Chasing a Championship.
After 35 wins, the Gators need one more to claim college basketball's ultimate prize. Florida has not been this far since they went back-to-back, won it all in 2006 and 2007. 18 years later, they are here in the Lone Star State looking to bring home some hardware. Hello, everybody. I'm Darren Stoltzfus. Welcome to Chasing a Championship. This is pregame coverage like none before it for Wesh 2, at least as far as I know. Hey, we're less than 2 hours from the national championship game here in San Antonio at the Alamo Dome. As you get some coverage you can only see right here on Wesh 2. As for these Gators, it has been a dream season for Todd Golden in year 3. 35 wins so far. They stormed through the regular season. 4 losses, just 1, though, since the first week in February. The Gators got through the SEC tournament as well, claiming their first SEC tournament title in more than a decade. They won their 3 games in Nashville by an average of 15 points. Then we were with them in Raleigh as the top-seeded Gators took down Norfolk State, then the 2-time defending champs, UConn. We followed them to San Francisco, where they toppled the Terrapins from Maryland and stunned Texas Tech with an incredible comeback. Now, they're here in San Antonio, already having taken down the #1 overall seed. They are 1 win away from a national title. Over the next half hour, we will study the star, Walter Clayton Jr., what makes him who he is, plus how a 3-star recruit from Orlando stabilized Todd Golden's first recruiting class before he could even begin recruiting. We'll hear from Houston head coach Kelvin Sampson as he tries to win the first title of a long and storied career, and an exclusive interview with one of the key cogs, a Gator legend from back in the day, Torian Green, a current assistant who played on those back-to-back national championships. That is what's coming up in the next half hour. As for this moment, it's going to be big for the Gators, but also it is big for the Houston Cougars, because for the first time, a team from the state of Texas will play for a national championship in the state of Texas. More than 68,000 fans are expected to be inside the Alamo Dome, and as we watch fans stream in, I'm seeing a whole lot of red. But the Gators, they like that. This is a little bit of a motivation for them. How do you become an underdog as a #1 seed with 35 wins? Well, you feel the pressure. No, if anything, Todd Golden says this team felt more of a weight when they met UConn in the second round. Now that they're here in the Final Four on this stage and just beat a good Auburn team, he expects this team to play free. They're potentially going to put together their first complete performance of the NCAA tournament.
I think we came into this NCAA tournament with some pressure after winning the SEC tournament championship. You know, we were playing free and loose for a long time leading up to that. Once we got here, we kind of felt like we had the weight of the world off our shoulders in terms of we made the Final Four, and now it's just time to hoop.
You know, we proved to ourselves that we deserve to be here. You know, obviously, thank the man above for the opportunity to be here. But I definitely think a little bit of the weight has been lifted, so we just gonna come out tomorrow and play our brand of basketball.
As for the guy you just heard from, what a run it has been for Walter Clayton Jr. In the big dance, he's been absolutely outstanding, shooting 50% from the floor and nearly 50% from the three-point line. Clayton has fought off double teams, physical play, and he saved his best for last, a career-high 34 points against Auburn. The last player to score 30 or more in back-to-back games in the Elite Eight or the Final Four, other than Walter Clayton Jr., Larry Bird, almost 50 years ago. Clayton's averaging 24.5 points per game, shooting better than 8 free throws per contest, but it's the late game situations when nobody has been better down the stretch, because he, for Florida, is the guy.
What is different? He's just different. But I think I've been around guys who are poised in moments like that. But like I'll say, what is kind of, you know, it's just what is what.
Spectacular, just fantastic, phenomenal. You know, he's the best guard in America. Yeah, like
it's just not really a conversation at this point, what he's been able to do.
You know when he touches the ball, something good is about to happen. And you seen today, I mean, you seen the whole season, the past 2 seasons we've been here, what he does. And just having a guy like that in our team is very great for us.
At this point, does he do anything ever to surprise you guys?
No, not at all. We know what he's going to do when he gets the ball.
Yeah.
his backcourt mate isn't bad either. Elijah Martin became the first player in NCAA tournament history to start for 2 different teams in the Final Four. First did it with FAU in 2023. Now he's done it with the Gators. Amart poured in 17 points, including a pair of back-breaking slams for the Tigers to the end of the second half. The Owls of FAU didn't get a chance to play for a championship. Tonight, in his first and only season with Florida, the Gators will, something he says is incredibly special.
We didn't get the job done at FAU, but we still haven't got the job done with the Gators and stuff like that. So we got 1 more to go, and then it's different because we got bounced the first game here at the Final Four, but this group is special. We can get the job done here.
Yeah, the way the Tigers of Auburn fell to the Florida Gators, it was mostly because of an incredible performance from the big guys down low. Johni Broome, a National Player of the Year finalist, was held to just 3 points in that second half. And remember, the Gators trailed by 8 against Auburn in that game, but the second half belonged to Florida. Just somehow, some way, they always found a way. And the Tigers, Alex Condon saying they were the most physical team that he'd played against. The Aussie taking things personally. Ruben Chinyelu said the level of physical play was nothing compared to how he grew up in Nigeria, but a full complement of Gators from around the world guided this team to here tonight.
It's a joy to coach these guys, and I'm just incredibly proud of their resilience and their toughness. I thought we played with great urgency in the second half. Credit to Auburn. It was obviously an incredible team, one of the best teams in college basketball over the last decade. And they were calling the shots in the first half. I thought they were throwing the punches. I thought we were reactive and not proactive.
What changed at halftime?
We just realized what we needed to do.
Yeah, I think I definitely took it personally. Johni's a good low post player, but I believe I'm a really good defender. So just making an impact. My shot wasn't falling tonight, so just making an impact defensively is something that I can do with. It just takes effort. So I feel like I did that down the stretch.
We got just a selfless team. I think there's a lot of people on the team that sacrifice things for the betterment of the team, and everybody at the end of the day just want to win. So whenever we get in this locker room, whenever we come together, that just be the goal.
Team is the key. A lot of these Gators are some of the best in the country at their position. The depth on this roster is incredible. One of the guards in the rotation that has been key down this stretch, Orlando's own Denzel Aberdeen. Our Kristen Lago catching up with a hometown kid living out his dream with the Gators.
A kid from Central Florida who grew up watching Florida basketball, now playing for a national championship as a Gator. Sounds like a movie script, right? Instead, it's the reality for guard Denzel Aberdeen, someone whose journey is characterized by patience, perseverance, and yes, pride in his roots. In college basketball, loyalty to one program is rare. But for Denzel Aberdeen, there was never any question.
I feel like here's a winning culture, a winning program. I just knew it was a no-brainer from there.
I remember driving down to Orlando to go meet with him, and we were kind of, just thinking about, all right, what are we going to have to do to make sure he stays and wants to be part of our program. We walked in to his house, sat down with him and his parents, and after a minute, he's like, no, I'm good, man. Like, I want to be a Gator. Like, I'm coming.
Growing up in Orlando, playing at Dr. Phillips, he always knew where he belonged.
A lot of great guys that came through here and stuff like that, and I just wanted to be a part of that mix.
It didn't happen overnight. Undeterred! But Aberdeen was patient. And if this NCAA tournament run has taught us anything, it's that the guard from the City Beautiful has created a key role on one of the deepest teams in college basketball.
Aberdeen, yes, sir!
For his high school coach, Ben Witherspoon, Denzel's success isn't at all a surprise.
I'll watch the game and I'll be like, he knows what to do there because he did it for 3 years for us in high school. It's cool now to see his personality really blossom and him have confidence on the biggest stage.
A stage that sets a path for other kids who want to be just like him.
That's important for the players we have at Dr. Phillips now to have that experience shared back with them so they can see you can do it from here.
From the streets of Orlando to the national title game.
It hasn't really hit me yet. I feel like when the buzzer hit 0, it hit me. But, I mean, it's been an amazing experience so far.
His story is all about following through. And if you're wondering if Orlando is following through for him, let's go back to Coach Witherspoon when I asked him if he'd bet on Florida.
They have Denzel Aberdeen. That's why. Houston doesn't have him.
The hometown kid trying to make his dreams come true. In Orlando, Kristen Lago, WESH 2 Sports.
Thank you, Kristen. Also this week out in San Antonio, how's this for timing? Billy Donovan, Florida Gators coaching legend, inducted into the 2025 class for the Naismith Basketball Hall of Fame. And right beside him, newly minted Hall of Famer for the Orlando Magic, Dwight Howard. For those two guys to go into the Hall this week while the Gators are competing for a championship, they said it just adds to the experience.
Have a chance to be here, sharing this moment, and then have Florida be able to play in the Final Four and get a chance to watch some of the game, was great. So got a chance to see a lot of people that I haven't seen in quite some time, and that part's been really, really nice. So it's just kind of ironic how it all worked out.
I don't think there was any doubts, but I just didn't think about, anything. But I had an amazing career. I gave 110% every time I stepped on the court, and what's going to happen is going to happen. And when I got the call, it's the best feeling in the world.
All right, still to come here on Chasing a Championship. We've got an exclusive one-on-one interview with Taurean Green, the only guy in the Gators locker room tonight that knows what it's like to play for a national championship. Plus, we will check in with Kelvin Sampson after a very storied and long career. He's got a chance to win his 800th game tonight. Youth versus experience. But first, take a look. This is the Alamo Dome where all the action goes down. A little more than an hour from tip-off at the national title game. You're watching Chasing a Championship only on WESH 2.
You're watching Chasing a Championship on WESH 2.
We are deep in the heart of Texas as Houston tries to win one for the Lone Star State. The Gators getting ready for bit of a road feel tonight in the Mission City. Welcome back. We are just outside the Alamo Dome live as we get set for the Gators to chase their championship tonight. It's going to be a battle of two very different head coaches. 39-year-old head coach Todd Golden from Florida, and on the other side, 69-year-old head coach Kelvin Sampson as he leads the Houston Cougars. Zach Maskovich dives into this very odd dichotomy of youth versus experience.
In the sport of college basketball, the landscape is certainly changing. Coaches are starting to retire at an earlier age, but Houston's Kelvin Sampson is an outlier. At 69 years old, Sampson is the fourth oldest active coach in college basketball. Tonight, he has the chance to win his first ever national championship. If he does, he will be the oldest head coach to ever win the title. He certainly has a different perspective as he closes in on 70 years old.
When you're approaching 70, you know, you look at things a lot differently. I mean, you're grown up now. You're 70.
Despite the big-time age gap between Sampson and his players, it's clear they have love and respect for their head man.
For these 6 years that I've known Coach Sampson, you know, I can honestly say he's like a second father to me, especially on and off the court. You know, he makes sure I'm good. Randomly calls me, randomly texts me, tells me he loves me. And when you come across people like that, you know, you got to keep him with you, for a long time.
He's almost like one of the players. You know, he works just as hard as us. So, and we all know, what we've been through the past couple years, getting to the tournament. And, he's been doing this for longer than we have. So, to, bring this as his first would, mean the world.
When Sampson steps back and reflects on what could be tonight, he can't help but go back to thinking about one thing, his family.
It's hard for me to think about the journey without thinking my mother and father. Those were, my mother was a nurse. She worked 12-hour shifts. My dad was a high school basketball coach. I always think of that.
Sampson, of course, will be going up against Todd Golden tonight. When Golden was born, Sampson was already in his 4th year coaching college basketball. After tonight, one of the two men will be etched in history forever. Inside the Alamo Dome, Zach Maskovich, West 2 Sports.
Thank you, Zach. Houston has won 18 straight games. Florida's riding their own 11-game win streak. Both teams combined 70 wins between them and a pair of conference tournament championships. A little more than an hour out from an absolute battle. All right, still to come on Chasing a Championship. We've got the keys to the game and, of course, that sit down with Tori and Green. But first, we've told you throughout this run, the Gators have remained the same, loose but locked in. Here's an example of that after their first practice here at the Alamo Dome. You're watching Chasing a Championship.
This backdrop is like I'm shooting a jump shot. I'm like, what's going on back there? Then I seen a bird fly across the court. I said, whoa.
Isaiah said he saw a bird fly across the court. I don't believe that. I don't believe that.
I ain't seen no bird. I don't know. I ain't seen no bird.
Welcome back. Just outside the Alamodome, we are right at an hour from tip-off. One of the guys in the locker room, well, the only guy in the locker room that knows what this is like is Torian Green. He was the point guard, a pivotal role in getting the Gators those back-to-back national championships in 2006 and 2007. Now, as a Gators assistant, his unique experience is of invaluable resources to these guys.
How special is it to be here on staff and watching what these guys are doing?
Man, it's awesome, man. Just being able to be a part of this staff, this team, is definitely different being on the other side as a coach, but it's a great feeling. We got one more game to play, but, you know, it's a testament to our guys. You know, they worked hard all season. They worked hard all year. They put in, you know, the unseen hours in the gym. You know, it's a testament to those guys in there, man. They're coachable, they listen, they play hard, and they put themselves in this position.
What guidance are you able to give them? You've been through this, they haven't.
You know, it's our whole staff collectively, honestly, man. We just try to preach the same things to them. You know, our guys play hard every day. You know, that's probably the most difficult thing to do these days with these kids is to get, you know, 10 to 12 guys to play hard. You know, our guys play hard every day. They play together. We have great chemistry, and, you know, it's showing.
When you watch Walter do what Walter does, I mean, how much does that bring a smile to your face?
Makes me happy, man. I'm very excited he's on the Florida Gators.
When it's the final 2 minutes of the game or whatever, it's Walter time. Like, how does he take his game up another level when it matters the most?
He's a certified hooper, man. You know, the pressure doesn't phase him. The lights don't phase him. You know, he's just so even-keeled, and, you know, we just put the ball in his hands and just let him go to work.
For Florida to be back in this position and playing for a third national championship, for this program to be back where it is, what does that mean to you as a guy who went back-to-back?
Man, it's great to be a Florida Gator. We're right back to where we belong, man. Shout out to Coach Golden, man. Shout out to our staff, and shout out to those guys in the locker room, man. It's a collective achievement, and you know, obviously we're happy to be here, but, you know, we got one more game to play. The job's not done.
The job is not done. That's a familiar refrain for these guys. At every checkpoint so far through this tournament, they've stayed the same, even-keeled, but locked in on their ultimate goal, winning tonight's game, the national championship. As for balancing, cherishing this moment, but also staying locked in, this team doing their best to do both along the way.
I think you just got to understand, you know, what got you here. You know what I'm saying? Other games, obviously, maybe not as many nerves, you know, it wasn't as big, you know, stuff like that. But those games are just as important as the one that's going on tomorrow. So just as a team, knowing what got us here, you know, sticking to it and executing that.
I think that's pretty much been this whole postseason. We're enjoying all these wins and enjoying all these accolades our team's getting, but at the same time, we always know that there's one more thing to do, and, you know, we finally made it to that last thing, so we got to go out there and do this.
Oh, one of the guys soaking it in, Gators athletic director Scott Strickland. Scott's consistently told me over the last few years, at Florida, the standard is competing for national championships. And despite several sports succeeding in that area, it's been nearly 20 years for football or men's basketball to do the same. Scott says that's why this weekend has been so big, and it shows again the weight of being a Gator.
If you're at the University of Florida, you have to understand that there's a high standard. Someone has done it has done it really well before you ever showed up. So that's got to be part of why you want to be here. You want to add your name to that list of Gator greats. That can't be like the only thing that drives you, but you've got to be really comfortable understanding that. And we have a group of guys that have embraced that. And when you have that, you got a chance to be really good.
Scott said for whatever reason throughout this entire tournament from Raleigh to San Francisco, he's been really nervous before games, but that wasn't the case Saturday here in San Antonio. He's hoping it's a good omen for tonight in the national championship. Okay, still to come on Chasing a Championship. We're going to break down the keys to the game, how the Gators can end up cutting down the nets for the third time in about a month. This is Chasing a Championship live from San Antonio.
I think that's our strength. Coming from the SEC, it's just they're not used to our physicality. So if we project that onto the other team that we're playing and just impose our will from the start, I think we can't be beaten.
Alex Condon, quite confident SEC tough will be enough for the Gators tonight. All right, Todd Golden again did not ask me for my keys to the game. Surprising, they were pretty good last time, but I'm still going to give you mine anyways. Let's take a look. Here's what the Gators have to do to win tonight. Houston likes to play at a different pace than the #1 defense in the country, only allowing 58.5 points per game. That's about 30 less than Florida averages. Florida needs to set the pace, and because of how Houston likes to play, possessions will be limited. That means rebounds and turnovers are huge. They turned Auburn over 12 times in the second half Saturday. Need more of that. And finally, if it's close, just let Walter Clayton do what Walter Clayton Jr. does. It's that simple. All right, that is it for Chasing a Championship. We're going to have coverage after this game, of course. For Zach and Kristen, our entire sports team, and everybody back at Wesh, thanks for hanging out with us. We'll see you after the game.